What up, it's Timmy, sir. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10 and 20 this week. Alright, the films turning 10. Oh man, I can't believe these are 10. We, of course, got the 2012 comedy The Watch. Now, this was a sci fi comedy that got released back in 2012. Now, the movie was originally titled Neighborhood Watch, but at the time, if you guys remember, Sally Trayvon Martin ended up getting killed, and so because of that, they ended up changing from Neighborhood Watch because the guy who killed Trayvon Martin was an officer, and so they changed the name to The Watch. So that's kind of why it was like a big thing at the time. Anyway, now this of course was actually directed by the same guy who recently put out the Dale film just recently. Anyway, in the watch, which also stars Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill, and Richard Ayoade. They play four pals who form a neighborhood watch group armed with flashlights, walkie-talkies, and stiffy new jackets. The guys try to take their mission seriously, even if they spend a little time goofing off now and then. They end up discovering that aliens are living among them, and no one believes their story. So they learn that they have to kick things up a notch to save the world from annihilation. This has some really cool cast lists. You of course got the likes of besides the four leads, you also got Billy Crudup popping up in this. You even have the girl from The Boys, Marty, who of course plays Starlight on The Boys. She actually plays Vince Vaughn's Storage. Her scenes is pretty fun. It is a really entertaining film. It didn't really get much love at the time. I enjoyed it. I had fun time with it. It was entertaining. Some effects, I thought was cool, especially for typical sci-fi comedy. And the box is a fun one, you guys seen that. All right, we also got Step Up Revolution, which of course was I believe the fourth installment or was the fifth. To be honest, there's so many Step Up movies I can't even remember one. But of course, Step Up Revolution featured like a new group of folks like Catherine McCormack, who plays this young dancer Emily, who dreams of becoming a professional dancer, and she meets her force of love with Sean, played by a 911 star Ryan Guzman, and who's the leader of this dance crew called the Mob. And when like rich businessmen's plans to develop the dancers' historic neighborhood, during to displace thousands of people, Emily must join forces with Sean and the Mob to turn their performance into protest art. And it's not as bad as most people make out to be. Like, not many people are really into the Step Up sequels, but I thought it was a really decent one. I mean, they haven't really done any Step Up movies lately. Like, they did the TV show, but I'm a little surprised we haven't had any more Step Up films for a while. But hey, they're still pretty decent. Of course, nothing beats the Channing Tatum one, but all right, another film turning 10 is maybe a favorite of mine, and this is probably a movie hardly no one ever seen, and that is Killer Joe. Now, Killer Joe was a film that was directed by William Friedkin, who of course gave us The Exorcist, The French Connection, and all. This was actually his last film, by the way. I don't know if he's ever gonna make a comeback, but anyway. Now this is a movie that was NC-17 at the time. Believe it or not, this was actually the first time I ever saw an NC-17 movie in theaters. I remember watching this thing. I was like, "Whoa, this thing is actually NC-17." Like, granted, I was pretty still older at the time, so I was able to watch this thing no problems. But hey, I mean, I've seen NC-17 movies beforehand, but I never really seen an NC-17 movie in theaters until I saw Killer Joe. Now, Killer Joe, of course, features the likes of Matthew McConaughey, Jim Temple, and Mel Hirsch. Now, here you got Matthew McConaughey, who plays a cop who moonlights as like a hitman who agrees to kill his the hated mother of a desperate drug dealer in exchange for having a relationship with his sister, played by Jim Temple. Of course, the mother, by the way, is played by Gina Gershon, who's always terrific. There's a reason this movie's NC-17. Yeah, there is lots of violence in this. And I tell you right now, if you watch Killer Joe, you're not going to want to look at Drumstick the same way. A chicken drumstick, I should say. Yeah, I'm not going to go change details because I don't want to get demonetized here. But yeah, you're not going to want to look at Drumstick the same way after seeing Killer Joe. That's all I'm just going to say. If you guys want to know any information about that, just watch the movie or even a clip of it. You'll know what I'm talking about. I say Drumstick. Anyway, this movie is really doing, it is, and I'd like to say that this brought Matthew McConaughey back to his heyday. This movie, by the way, is also based on a play by Tracy Letts, and this is a really terrific film. If you guys have never seen Killer Joe, not sure we can find it nowadays, but do yourself a favor, go watch Killer Joe. This movie is terrific. It's very intense, very crazy, but it's a really good film. All right. Now, turning 20, we of course got Austin Powers and Goldmember. I'm still hoping Mike Myers and the gang go ahead and do another Austin Powers. I mean, Mike Myers is really keen on, he of course recently returned as Dr. Evil for that recent Super Bowl ad. Is still keen on coming back for more Austin Powers. But man, I hope that actually happens because the Austin Powers movies are just so fun, entertaining, and it's crazy to believe that we had not had an Austin Powers movie on the big screen for over 20 years. And Goldmember, of course, featuring Beyonce as the Power Girl, this is actually the movie that made me sort of become a fan of Beyonce, by the way. I mean, I knew Beyonce a little bit beforehand, but this was like really become that for me. And I actually thought her chemistry, my fun, go. I mean, it's I mean, we had fun cameos by Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Spacey, Danny DeVito popping up in this. It is so fun, so entertaining. It even left the door open for another one because you remember at the end, it showed that spoiler for that came out 20 years ago. But of course, at the end, if you guys remember, it showed Scott Evil, played by Seth Green, who is so good in these films, pretty much taking up the mantle of Dr. Evil. So why the heck they did not really? I mean, the movie did pretty well in the box office. It's not like a flop. Let me double check. Also, Paris Goldmember box office. Yeah, I mean the movie did pretty well when it got released, so it's not like it flopped or anything. Yeah, maybe about 200 comments, but it's still it was still pretty profitable. So why we never had like a follow to this is still beyond me. But man, Mike Myers wants to do it. We all want it. So come on, New Line, get off your high horse and give us another Austin Powers. I mean, I think it's finally time, and it's finally ready for another one. So yeah, comment below if you think New Line, Mike Myers, and them should all go ahead and give us another Austin Powers film because I think it's finally time for one. But yeah, if you guys have not seen Goldmember, that movie is so hilarious. I mean, it's just such a fun one, entertaining. I mean, yeah, I just so much adore it. All right. Also turning 20, we got The Country Bears, which is of course based on the Disneyland ride. And of course, you had the likes of Haley Joel Osment, Christopher Walken, Queen Latifah. This movie isn't a great film. I will admit that front, but it is a guilty pleasure of mine. I remember watching this thing. It was like such a weird film. I mean, of course, no, this actually came out before Pirates. Never mind. I was gonna say that this they were trying to capitalize on the success of Pirates, but I realized this movie was released before Pirates. But of course, since then we did got lots of Disney rides. Turn Austin Pirates of the Caribbean was ahead. Most recent, Jungle Cruise, Haunted Mansion. So there's that. But yeah, Country Bear is a fun one. I mean, it has some really cool music in it. It's not a great film, but it is a good pleasure. All right. Also turning got Stuart Little 2. Now, this was the in 1999, Stuart Little, and I love Stuart Little. I mean, I was like a movie about like a talking mouse. Sounds like it could have came off really too, very like cringy, very odd, and everything. The first Stuart Little is delightful. I mean, I guess you could say if you really want to look at it, it was like the Paddington of the 90s, and it was really fun. Michael J. Fox and Stuart Little, Nathan Lane. You had Hugh Laurie, Gina Davis, John Lipnicki. I mean, I had a fun time with that one. And of course, it was directed by the Lion King director, Rob Minkoff, who just put out Paws of Fury, which I still have not done a review for that. I really got to post my review for Paws of Fury. But anyway. So, of course, about like 3 years after the first Stuart Little, they decided to go ahead and do a sequel. And I admit, Stuart Little 2, while it's nowhere near as good as the first Stuart Little, I still thought it was really decent. This time around, you got a Falcon who's voiced by James Woods, and here you got Stuart Little, once again voiced by Mike J. Fox, who returns in Stuart Little to audiences with his big heart and even more like action-packed adventure. This time, Stuart journeying through the city with a relentless snowball, voiced by Nick Delane, to rescue a new friend named Margalo, voiced by Melanie Griffith, from this Falcon, who, man, I gotta say, James was so good in this too. I mean, this is a really fun one. It's cute, charming. It's a shame they never really did like an actual Dirt one. I mean, they did do like a Dirt anime film, but they never really did like a Dirt live action flick. I mean, Michael J. Fox is always terrific. I would love to see Michael J. Fox make a comeback, but I feel so sorry for the poor guy. I've always liked Michael J. Fox, whether it's Back to the Future, but you know what? Stuart Little is probably my second favorite Michael J. Fox role, but next to Marty McFly, because Michael J. Fox is so good as this role. And yeah, if you guys ever seen Stuart Little 2 or even the first film, give both of those a go. Anyway, let me leave it to you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 10-year one, wow, you know what? While I love to watch and while I actually enjoy Step Revolution, I am going to go with Killer Joe. That is the movie that stands out to me the most in the 10-year one. And the 20-year one, obviously, Austin Powers and Goldmember, because who doesn't love Goldmember? Come on. Anyway, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This is Senior Sign.